Good afternoon, Rochester Memorial students and families. Mr. Medeiros here with this week's Medeiros Minute. Boys and girls, I want to thank you for a great week of learning, particularly when we talk about taking care of our environment. So I know as a school, we talked a little bit about making sure that our common spaces, like our bathrooms and our cafeteria and our hallways, are to be really being taken care of, and even those outdoor spaces where we're having snack or those fresh air breaks. We were noticing after the first couple weeks of school that perhaps we weren't taking care of our environment here, and those areas were being left a little messy. But boys and girls, excellent job. We've noticed that we're certainly getting those paper towels in the barrel, and those common areas in our school in general is certainly being taken care of. So we appreciate that. I know everyone's very excited for this weekend as we have our first PTO event, Trunk or Treat. That's going to take place between 2 and 4 p.m. out here in our back lot. As of right now, I believe we have 18 vehicles signed up to be out back there decorated. So very exciting. So boys and girls, if you're interested in that, we look forward to seeing you here tomorrow. As I mentioned, Saturday, October 16th from 2 to 4 p.m. will be our trunk or treat. Also, next week, boys and girls, our annual Scholastic Book Fair is back. Very exciting. I know last year we couldn't have a book fair, so that was sad. But this year we're able to bring it back, and we're very happy and excited about that. Thanks to our Rochester Memorial School PTO, and I know Miss Hathaway and Miss Gian DeMonico have helped a lot with making sure that our book fair is back at RMS this year. It'll be in our media center, so thank you to Miss Solauer, our media specialist, for letting us use her wonderful space in the media center, and for her time and going class to class so that we can have that space available for our book fair. So book fair will be open next week. I know all of the teachers participated in teacher preview day today, and they did sign their class up for a book fair time. So I know each teacher, classroom teacher, and teacher team will be talking to their students about when their book fair time is. I know they will be communicating that with all of you parents and guardians as well, so that you know what day and time your child's class will be heading down to the book fair. But it also, just so everyone knows, it'll also be open during parent-teacher conferences. So a reminder that a book fair is next week, and that it'll take place during the school day. Your classroom teacher will notify you what day and time they have signed their class up for, but also know that it will be open during parent-teacher conferences. So Thursday of parent-teacher conferences is our long day, so it'll parent-teacher conferences go till 6 p.m. The book fair will be open at that time, and it'll also be open until 3 p.m. on Friday as well. So wanted to let everyone know about that. As I mentioned, parents and guardians, a reminder, next week is parent-teacher conferences, so you should have received a letter from your classroom teacher or teacher teams letting you know when conferences, what time slots are still available for conferences. A reminder again, those are next week, so Thursday, October 21st and Friday, October 22nd. Both days are half-day of school days in order to account for those parent-teacher conferences. So kids will be dismissed at 12:30. Breakfast and lunch will be served on Thursday and Friday of next week, but they are half days of school. Students will be dismissed at 12:30 to account for those parent-teacher conferences. A reminder to our parents and guardians, in that letter that went home from your child's teacher or teacher team, there are multiple options on how to attend and participate in your conference. So it might you may have chosen Zoom, where your child's classroom teacher or teacher team will send you that Zoom link invite, or in person. So I know our teachers sent out that information. If you have not had a chance to send back that form or communicate with your child's classroom teacher or team around conferences, please make sure you do so as soon as possible, as those conferences are scheduled to take place next week. Also next week, parents and guardians, so we received the MCAS parent reports for our students in grades, actually right now, our students in grades 4, 5, and 6. Last year, they were in grades 3, 4, and 5. Those parent reports were sent to Rochester Memorial on September 30th. They were also put together and mailed out yesterday. So sometime over the weekend or at the beginning of next week, for our families in our current grades 4, 5, and 6, you will receive those MCAS parent reports in the mail. With that report, you will see a letter from Commissioner Riley, and then obviously your child's MCAS data report. I know Superintendent Nelson did also send out an email yesterday in the afternoon regarding MCAS and what schools are doing with those reports and what we're doing with the data that comes from our students participating in the end of the year MCAS assessment. So any questions about MCAS, don't hesitate to reach out to your child's classroom teacher. Myself or Mr. West would be happy to address any questions or speak to how we're using our MCAS data here at Rochester Memorial. One more reminder, parents and guardians, around drop-off out back. So we're noticing that drop-off, we're starting to see some vehicles pull out back after 8:50 a.m. So a reminder that at 8:50 a.m., our drop-off in the back ends. Those doors do close, and that any student that arrives at the school at 8:50 or beyond would be dropped off here in the main office because we need an adult to walk them into the security vestibule and sign them in. So once again, 8:50 out back, parent drop-off. Those doors will be closed. Any parents or guardians that are arriving after 8:50 would need to come here to the main door in the front and walk in with their child so that they can sign their student in. At that point, the child will be tardy, but we do need the adult to walk in with them, as I mentioned, to sign them in, and then we can send them off to class. So once again, out back drop off ends at 8:50 a.m. So anyone after that time would come here to the front main door. Boys and girls, parents and guardians, I know there was a little bit of confusion of this, and I know we made some announcements last week around toys on the bus and devices. So that we have seen an uptick in toys and devices being brought onto the bus and used on the bus. A reminder that toys and devices are not allowed on the bus. However, drawing or reading or coloring is perfectly fine. So we did want to clarify that. But did also want to speak to all of you boys and girls, but our parents and guardians as well. We're noticing that students are bringing toys or devices on the bus, either to share with peers or to play with. And toys and devices are not allowed on the bus here at Rochester Memorial. Any clarification you need with that, please don't hesitate to speak to your bus driver or call the school to speak to myself or Mr. West, or you can check out the bus policy section of our student handbook that's posted on the RMS school webpage. But just a reminder, boys and girls, reading, coloring, drawing, that is perfectly fine on the bus. But let's please make sure that those toys and devices do not make their way on the bus. Toys and devices really should be staying home. Parents and guardians, boys and girls, you should have received the Rochester Memorial Social Emotional Team newsletter. Very exciting data and information in that newsletter around the 1-minute sessions that our SEL team was able to conduct with all of our students throughout the lunch shifts here at Rochester Memorial last week. Very exciting data. Very positive data, but also very important data that helps inform not only us as an SEL team, but all of our staff here in the building and how we can improve and make sure our students feel a sense of belonging and feel safe here at Rochester Memorial. So I want to thank the SEL team for their work in those lunch shifts and conducting those 1-minute sessions, but also make note of that here in this Medeiros Minute so that you can look at that information that came out in the SEL newsletter. Sit down, have those conversations with your children because your feedback is also welcome, parents and guardians. But as I mentioned, very positive data, but also very meaningful data in helping us ensure that our students have that sense of belonging and feel safe and feel welcome here at school, which is very, very important to us. Obviously, one of the ultimate important pieces for us. Parents and guardians who receive the Title I breakfast invite. So this is invitation only. This is not open to all, but just wanted to remind our parents and guardians who did receive it. It's a pink sheet that went home with your child this week, inviting you to our Title I breakfast, which will take place next Wednesday, October 20th in the morning here in our cafeteria. So again, that's invitation only. That's not open to all. That's for those parents and guardians who their child, their student will be having some services and work and time with our Title I staff. A reminder to all, though, that our Title I grant supports reading and our reading interventionists and reading strategies here at Rochester Memorial. So our reading team will be there at that breakfast to talk to those parents and guardians who are invited to the Title I breakfast to explain their services, to explain how we use those grant funds to ensure that your child is getting the services they need to help improve their reading. So again, invite only. Any questions about that, don't hesitate to reach out to myself, your child's classroom teacher, or either one of our reading specialists, Ms. McLemille and Ms. Johnson, and they'll be happy to answer any questions you have about our Title I breakfast. Parents and guardians, boys and girls, in this new month of October, we've shifted the focus of our CARES model from cooperation and responsible decision-making to assertiveness and how assertiveness helps us with relationship skills. Boys and girls, as we've talked about in morning announcements, assertiveness is when we maintain healthy and rewarding friendships that help us manage the different demands while at school. We can resist peer pressure by being assertive, doing what we know is the right thing to do, and successfully manage conflict constructively, talking it through and getting help from the adults when needed, whether it's adults here at school or adults here at home, as we talk quite a lot about here at RMS. I hope everyone has a fabulous weekend. Boys and girls, remember, as you're out there, please take care of yourself, take care of others, and take care of your environment.